Hey everybody, welcome back to D-Zoned. Let's go and see what we got here. Rocket Death... Oh no, wait, that's skipped. Never mind, that's a deathmatch map. HELLPOR2. Alright, that smells like a conversion. Doom to Doom 2. But, yeah, no text file. I guess let's just get right into it. So for the music, we've got Gonzu by Peter Tomaselli. And for the intermission, we've got Stealth Mode by Jimmy Paddock. Let's go and see how this thing is. Okay, there we go. So we're off to fairly humble beginnings here. It's very bright, though. Gonna just see if we can... This is probably a mistake. That's just gonna waste ammo. Considering I haven't... Oh, balls. Yeah, I'd love to grab that shotgun, but let's play it a little safe here, so we don't know how many resources we're gonna get. Okay, there we go. So we did at least get that box of shells at the beginning. That's probably kind of intended for this. Yeah, they're just going to be a pain in the neck, but they're locked behind a door. It's fine. Alright, so... we got the worst enemies in the game here. I don't really want to use the rocket low. We've already got the obligatory conversion arch file. That's... fantastic. Wait, is that a monster blocking line def I see? No, it's not. Nope. No, it's definitely not. I hate how you can't lead targets in Doom. Because horizontal auto aim will get you every time. But hey, you know what? Archie's down. Wow. That was some bad timing. Oh, well, that's fine. We've got this still. Okay. That was, semi-disastrous. Okay, seriously. There we go. Get more rockets at least. Lovely little chain gun. Which I know we had it, but with these maps that look like they're Doom to Doom 2 conversions, I prefer not to use them. At least not until I actually find one that's placed in the map. So, well, at least the map designer gave us this. Just being really careful because I don't want to waste any shots. But yeah, you end up getting a lot of extra little goodies that the map designer did not intend, and I try to play it somewhat faithfully. It's not always possible. Okay, a lot of little trap doors here. This is a... Although, I don't know if that one was necessarily in a good position, but, It's good to see them, though. Because a lot of these earlier maps tend to be a little bit more conservative. Kind of like this map is conservative with its indoor lighting. Yeah. There is lighting, though. So that could just be a matter of just the author having a darker CRT, which is kind of a thing that happened back then. Yeah, this is one of those cases where unfortunately I can't really avoid picking up a extra good item. Megaspheres were not in Doom 1, so they're a bit, like, the converter would basically just replace soul spheres with those. So yeah, oh, great. There we go. Thankfully, some strategically placed barrels. I'm gonna guess that skull's probably a secret. It was not. I have been bamboozled. Oh well. It happens. Happens to the best of us. And look at that, actually showing some kind of engine mastery there. I mean, because, like with... Well, okay, it's not perfect. It's not how a modern mapper would do it, but yeah, just having like a separate upper texture as being different is not something that's 100% intuitive with Doom editors. So, yeah, this is, I wonder when this WAD was made. It definitely seems like it was, I mean, it was still kind of in the olden days, obviously. Looks are a bit, underwhelming, but, you know, it's okay. Oh, it's a lot of cacos. But in terms of combat and everything, it feels like it's a little bit of a more... I don't want to say it feels modern, because it really doesn't, but it feels more modern than what we normally get here. I mean, you just look at the enemy count alone, and you know, it's pretty energetic. And the other thing that I think is important is that the author actually gives you the weapons that you need to deal with some of this stuff. Because one of the problems that I have is that a lot of these tend to suffer from Hell Revealed syndrome. Also, another thing to notice, and this is kind of a little bit more of a subtle thing. So in the mid-90s, we didn't really have visual editors. We didn't even have, well, I don't know, none of the editors I used anyway would even show you what like floor flats would look like. So having teleporters that were actually aligned is pretty nice. So, yeah, because Doom has a set 64x64 grid. And unless you're using an advanced port like dsda-doom, you can't actually set texture offsets on the floor. So, yeah, that's like a little bit of a nice attention to detail. I obviously, unfortunately, can't get into the author's head. Well, that sounds creepy. So I don't know if they just kind of figured out the pattern that using the 64x64 grid on most editors would... he didn't get close enough to the barrels. But I don't know if they knew that setting the grid to 64x64 would actually be a good indication, or if they just kind of just like brute force their way through it. But either way, it's nice attention to detail. But yeah, that's why in a lot of these maps, if you've been following this series for a while, you'll see teleporters that aren't offset. They're not perfectly aligned to the grid. Yeah, that's why. Oh. I think I just wasted a whole bunch of shells. Oh well. Alright. In we go. And now we got the cage. We'll say that, I mean, the texturing and all that is a little bit on the underwhelming side, I would say. But the author's definitely experimenting with different things, which I can appreciate. And really, this combat seems kind of quaint nowadays, but if you don't know how to circle strafe, which, I mean, FPSs were still relatively new back when this map would have been released, then you would end up taking a bunch of damage. That's why it's kind of a little bit important to kind of recognize when some maps were made. It's like even Hell Revealed, for all of its deficiencies, you know, it was still pretty early in the challenging map genre, if you want to call it a genre. Alright, there we go. Okay, I wonder what opens that, or what we do here. Oh, switch. That was maybe a little too subtle for my liking, but wasn't too bad. Alright, cool. We'll say probably the biggest... Oh. I thought I'd be able to go through that. Lame. Oh, an imp guarding a switch. That's cute. Would Syriac make this? Anyway. Yeah, anyway, I would say this map's... Ooh, we got a trap here. This map's biggest deficiency is probably the lighting. But, like I kind of implied, it was a little bit tricky back in the day, because not all CRTs were created equal. I haven't done this rant for a little while, so let's do it now. But a lot of people like to herald CRTs as being, you know, objectively superior to LCDs in every way, but I don't know, it's just like one of those situations where the CRTs that really survived to the modern era for better scrutiny are the ones that were actually good. Most of them, I can safely say, were not. Nice little monster trap. I like that. But, yeah. Is this... Oh, okay. Ooh, I didn't get soft locked. That's incredible. But a lot of times what would end up happening is they would all have very different ideas of, oh, nice. It all connected in on itself. They'd have different ideas of what, certain shades should be. Like, you can have something that looked overly bright on one and overly dark on the other, and that was kind of a... Not really helped by Doom not having a very robust selection of gamma correction settings when it first came out. Like, when it launched, it actually didn't have gamma correction. Then with 1.1, it only had one setting. And then eventually they ended up putting 4 settings plus off. And that's kind of like when people were able to actually finally tweak Doom to look right on their monitor, that's when we started seeing levels that actually looked, well, had a decent light level. Like if I were to guess, and again, this is me kind of jumping into the author's head a little bit, this map probably appeared, or this area probably appeared dark, just judging on how the rest of it did. Although nowadays with our modern modern LCDs, yeah, it probably looks fine on everyone's PC that's watching this. Alright, let's just go ahead and... Oh, BFG, that is surprisingly generous. Wait. Yep. I thought I heard the demons. But I guess not. Yep, let's go up here. I wonder why we got the BFG. Yeah, I guess we'll find out eventually, right? Oh. Probably for these guys. I'm sure of it. Ow. Yeah, this is a little dark. Oh, well, never mind. Don't I feel silly. Oh. Did not expect that, not gonna lie. Alright, well, you know what? Another thing to keep in mind is that Doom 1 also didn't have the Baron, or sorry, didn't have the Hell Knight. So whenever you see a Hell Knight here, that would have been... Are you okay, dude? Alright. Alright, glad you managed to whatever yourself. But whenever you see a Hell Knight, that would have been a Baron in the original map. I really wish that these converted maps didn't exist. And even... Okay. Just seemed like those health potions probably should have meant something. Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's the switch. Okay, good. But yeah, I really don't like that, because it's like... These compilation discs, I think, should have just let the users convert it, if anything. It just seems a little silly that they kind of did things the way they did, I suppose. Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that was a drop-off. Unless it lowered. I don't know. So the way out is indeed through that door. I don't know. I do appreciate the author experimenting. Like, you could see those, I mean, the alignment's a bit off, but you could see across the way the hanging corpses. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Okay, that definitely opened that door. Telefragged. Alright, cool. Well, now we made it back here, and I imagine we're probably... Oh, well. Gotta admit, I was kind of hoping for something... I don't know, more of a reason to use the BFG. So hold up a second. Where's the last secret? And there's that. There's those. And there's that. So it seems like I should have gotten everything, but... I don't know. Maybe those sectors are connected? Although that's pretty rare to see back then. Okay, that's a bit... Kind of looks like there's a little shortcut path between those two areas, and for whatever reason that's marked as a, that's flagged as a secret. It's kind of odd. Okay, well, I guess let's just go get it. Might as well, right? And, yeah, so it'd be right over... here? Oh. Oh, okay. I mean, that's pretty obscure, but... honestly, I mean, you get the computer area map, plus... I mean, it's a plasma rifle that you don't really need, so... hey, why not? It's not like a mandatory secret or anything like that, so... can't complain too much. Okay, this stays open, that's good. And this loops back in on the rest of the map. Very, very lovely. And let's go ahead and hit the exit switch, and there we go. We have finished it. Okay, yeah, that one was pretty decent, I gotta say. The combat was pretty good throughout. Obviously, it's a little quaint by today's standards, but that would have been a bit of a challenge back in the day, I think. I would say the biggest negatives are not even necessarily polish, but maybe better texture usage would have worked. I mean, the author kind of played it safe in most rooms, I think. The lighting was a bit off, but I mean, again, that could be just a matter of just the way that their monitor looked. Hard to say, but I mean, just judging from my experiences, that's probably what it is, because I was also in kind of that camp where Doom 1.1 either looked too bright or too dark, and I preferred it on the too dark setting. Obviously, when the later versions came out, you know, that was a different story, but we don't really have any way of knowing what version the author made or created this with. Could have made it with 1.1, because not everybody kept their Doom versions up to date. I mean, you had to have internet access to do that, and kind of had to know where to look as well. So, or the inclination to do it, for that matter. I mean, game patches weren't really a huge thing back then. Doom was pretty novel for doing it. I don't know, this one, I mean, I can't really think of any major complaints about it outside of just visuals, and I don't really rate those super highly. It's kind of, I've explained this a few times, but pretty much like gameplay will bring a map up to 8, and then polish and visuals will kind of bring it over that. You know, little touches here and there, plus a little bit of reviewer bias. I don't know if this one's really quite worth a 10, because I don't think it does anything too wild, but I feel pretty good about giving this one a 9.5 out of 10. It's very close to hitting the mark. I would say if the visuals were a little bit tighter, that would probably have done the trick. Because it's like, it has a lot of like nice little touches, but I don't know. Could have used maybe a little bit more polishing up, that's all. I'm using the word polish way too much. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.